Boomer freaking Sooner, everybody. The Sooners land a double commitment tonight, Monday night. What a great way to turn around on a Monday night than to have not one, but two commitments from a brothers out east. Daeh and Dasan McCullough have committed to the University of Oklahoma, and we got to talk about the impact here of what this has for the University of Oklahoma. All right, so Dayson and Daeh McCullough have committed to the University of Oklahoma, and this one's huge because let's talk about Dayson first. So Dayson is a freshman currently coming off of his first season with the Indiana Hoosiers, coming in at about 6'5", 230 pounds, and he had a tremendous season, and he could pretty much play wherever you want him to on the defensive side of the ball. Right? He can play a little bit more off on the edge. He can play a linebacker. He could play a little bit of safety. And here's the deal. One of the things that I like most about Dayson, and you're going to hear a lot of other people like about Dayson, is he is able to be more of like an Isaiah Simmons type player in this Brent Venables defense. So this past season for Indiana, he had 48 total tackles. 30 of those were solo. He had 4 sacks, which, to put this in perspective, our two leading sack leaders on the team were Ethan Downs and Reggie Grimes with 4.5 sacks. So Dayson, who doesn't play on the line, he's a linebacker, got 4 sacks. And he is going to be somebody that can immediately come in and contend not only for the cheetah role, but he can also come in and contend for a starting linebacker role for the Sooners. This is a tremendous pickup. I am super excited to see just how Venables is going to be able to use him and, you know, what this is going to mean for the Sooners going forward. Now, he does also have a brother, and his brother is Daeh McCullough. And I think it's huge because he's a safety, and that's an area where Oklahoma has historically had problems, and he's a 4-star guy. And he's a guy that was, I mean, he wasn't necessarily like highly recruited, but he's a guy that was starting to pick up some steam and get some offers. He had offers from Florida, Michigan. He was committed to Cincinnati. He had Arkansas on there. He had Utah, Oklahoma State, Penn State. So the man was not short of Power 5 football offers. Here's the deal. I don't think Daeh McCullough comes in and immediately makes an impact and starts in the defensive backfield for Oklahoma, just because I think Oklahoma's got a lot of good players coming back in to play next year. But maybe in 2024 or maybe what you see in 2025, you might be able to see Daeh hit the field a little bit more and be able to provide a tremendous impact, being able to have more of an understanding in this Venables defense, where he needs to be at and things like that. So this is a tremendous pickup. I know people had potentially thought about, oh, well, you know, they're going to end up at Indiana with Daeh McCullough, or they'll end up at Notre Dame or places like that, which, I mean, it's true, like they could, but ultimately they end up a Sooner. I want to get back to Dayson because Dayson, I think people are going to overlook this and how big of a pickup this is. You know, he's got exceptional height and length, which explains why he's able to play all over the field on the defensive side of the ball. And, you know, it started out maybe looking like he was going to play safety at the Power 5 level, but he's been able to be more disruptive at the linebacker position because of his length and awareness. And listen, for the Sooners and a Venables defense where that has been a need, where we need depth, listen, we got to have it. So I'm excited for it, and given his physical tools and his experience and the potential, this is a guy that, you know, if he's able to put it all together under a Venables scheme and truly be that Isaiah Simmons type of player, well, you're looking at a guy that could potentially go in the second or maybe even, I know this one's a stretch, but maybe even the first round in the NFL draft. Now, he might have to play 4 years to get there, but that's definitely a possibility. And you know what you're getting production-wise from him because you've seen him do it against some of the best teams in college football, whether that was Penn State, Michigan State, or even the Ohio State game. When you go look at his production, and mind you, Indiana lost that game 56-14, but when you go look at the production for the Hoosiers in and out all season, I just really like what he's going to potentially be able to bring. Daeh McCullough in that game against Ohio State had 4 total tackles, and all of those were his. And so, listen, he had 1 tackle for loss. That's one thing that the Sooners have been able to do well. This is a good pickup. It's a good pickup, guys. So where does this leave Oklahoma currently in just the recruiting rankings? This leaves Oklahoma at a 281.06 in the recruiting rankings. That puts them at number 6 overall in the composite score. But if you're looking at what does this do in terms of a composite score, right? So when we talk about a composite score, we're talking about transfer portal and the recruiting rankings, which I know some of you guys are like, well, what's the difference? Why does it matter? It actually matters a lot. So when you look at the potential both for those, as I go in here and I add Dayson McCullough, it gives OU a 286.18. So OU's looking okay. OU's looking okay. I'm liking what we're seeing. I'm loving what we're seeing. And ultimately, there are going to be more pickups for the Sooners throughout the transfer portal, and especially at that linebacker position. So it's something that we have to watch a little bit more, as that is a spot where Oklahoma needed more depth this year. They have Danny Stutzman returning. You've got Justin Harrington there. I believe Justin Harrington, as he talked about in the interview, he probably moves more towards the left side of the field and the cornerback role over the next year. But the linebacker position is a spot where we needed more depth, and we're definitely getting it. So go ahead. I want you guys to jump down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this pickup for the Oklahoma Sooners and the McCullough brothers.